Hey guys, my name is Sebastian Hertz and I'm the co-founder of Zignify Global Product Sourcing. And Steven asked me that I make a very short, a very quick video. That is why I will speak very fast, but I'm trying to put in a lot of value for you guys for sourcing. One of the first things I want to get into, and I think we will show this somewhere up here, the slides then, is where you may find suppliers. I mean, anybody knows, of course, Alibaba. You can search in Alibaba, you can find suppliers there, mostly, of course, from China. But if you're looking, for example, also in China, where else can you go? Baba 1688. This is, well, of course, a Chinese page, but you may find many more suppliers in there as well. For other countries, you may go to global sources, to Europages, to Wer liefert was, WLW for German pages. Aliexpress, of course, is one of the ones. And as well, think about it, you may find suppliers also on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. You may stalk them down there and find out information and try to get proposals. But what, of course, always very, very often helps is Google, or the Chinese version Baidu, Baidu. Use it a lot, find out about them, and then call. Talk to the people, not only send emails. Please be prepared that anywhere outside of China, it is very likely that you will need a lot more time than compared to inside of China for sourcing. So if it takes you 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times to contact the same supplier in order to get a proposal, don't worry. It's normal. It's very, very normal. It takes a lot longer time usually outside of China, but be persistent, continue, go for it. You will get results. Vitamin C, connections to other people and relationships, of course. The Chinese guanxi is as well worth it and works pretty much all over the world. When you have a close relationship with people, you find out more information. Calling is definitely one of the things I would suggest you to do and find out and spend the time. It takes time, and get my suggestion, not only 3, 4, 5 proposals. We usually target, when we source for others in China, for example, up to about 30 potential suppliers. Outside of China, we target to usually find 60 potential suppliers. Why? Well, hint, you get a lot of proposals, and if you have a lot of proposals, then you do have a lot of prices and you have a very good position to negotiate. Plus, then the more proposals you have, of course, the better you know the real market price. And this is how we actually are very often able to literally save some bigger sellers, of course, millions of dollars in sourcing their best sellers again. Now, a few more things. I hope I can fit this all into the few minutes here. What to watch out for is, here's just part 1. I guess we'll blind it up in here. Get enough proposals. Why? Again, 2, 3, or 4 proposals. That doesn't really show you the full market. You can't really negotiate with all of this. Target to find a lot more, because then you see, a common pattern. What are high prices? What are low prices? And with the low prices, of course, you can negotiate the better quality of the high prices. Plus, you have a lot of excuses to say to produce with somebody else. Now, another one is, especially for us brand owners, we ourselves are also brand owners. We have 2 brands selling on Amazon since 2014. Plus, we brought them into the biggest retail stores of Germany. But what is a very important thing is get rid of trading companies. As soon as we find trading companies in our research, we of course try to kick them out. We don't need anybody who moves boxes and asks for 20, 80, 100, 150% on top prices. So they're just making it more expensive. Unless you say you do want to have the security that somebody has imported it already. Again, sorry for me speaking so fast, but I talk a lot. I do know that. I'm still trying to give you as much content, as much value as possible. Background checks. Don't trust every supplier immediately. Do some background check about them. Are they a registered business? Do they have the export license when, for example, it comes to China? Can we see what is their financial situations? What kind of reviews do we have? Can we see that some of the management is maybe involved into some other companies that maybe currently are being even sued? How long are they in the market? What's the size of them? Do they really produce what they're telling to produce? Same thing, topic before, are they a trading company? Also, all of that can be checked. How is the business, for example, registered? Then you can find out if it's a trading company. Well, kick them out. A bad web page, does it mean it's a bad company? No, it doesn't. For the simple reason, I used to say jokingly, before, our web page was definitely worse. And what we said in there is, if any company out there who has a worse webpage than we or than us ourselves, but they're 5 times or 10 times, 5 years or 10 years on the market, then this is a pretty damn good sign. Why? Because they don't need a web page to sell. They grow through referrals. They, many of the web pages from producers, they may be 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, and they never updated them. Why? Because they don't need a web page to sell themselves. They do good products, they do deliver good service, and this is how the word spreads. Next one, flexibility in communication. They don't all need to be able to speak as fast as I can. So just what I mean with this is how easy, how open is it to communicate with them? How willing are they to discuss with you, to discuss changes? Do they offer OEM? Do they offer ODM, original equipment manufacturer, or even if you come with your own design, original design manufacturers? Are they open to do adjustments? How do they react to changes? Are they willing to do this? By the way, if you find somebody who doesn't really want to do changes, that's also a pretty good sign that this may be a trading company. Why? Well, because they just want to sell products that exist already and just move them through without having a lot of hassle of discussing with a real producer. Do those changes, please, because that's a lot of time for them. All they want to do is move boxes, get money. Are products in general possible at all? Means, whatever they show on the webpage, it may not mean that those are the ones that they really actually produce. Once product pages or the web pages can be very, very old. And secondly, every potential supplier you approach and he maybe hasn't done the product yet, if he's a smart one, he's starting to think like, how can I produce it? So maybe they will give it a try and see, okay, I can produce it. I think I can do it, but they would actually tell you, it's like, yes, we can do that. Be careful there. What is the reality? Have they done the products? Check with them as well. Have you produced them already? And when it comes to some of the countries, don't let them just say yes or no. Ask them, please, can you please answer in a full sentence? Yes, we have produced this very product before. That is a statement which you can count on. At least you can count on more. Second one, what to watch out for. It's six Chinese six in our language. 6 more suggestions what to do. Licenses and certificates. Check that the suppliers have, for once, all the licenses and certificates they would need themselves as running their own business. Plus, are the products that you can then sell, are they sellable? Does it make sense? Do they have all the certificates and licenses needed? Do they actually know which ones are needed? Don't rely on them when they say, yes, we know all the certificates. We see this so often here in Europe or in Germany that, of course, they're going to tell you, yes, we have all certificates, because it's your responsibility to make sure that they actually have them. If they don't have them, not a big problem. We can also help with, or you can do this, of course, on your own if you go to TUV, to SGS, to DECRA, or to any other ones who can help get the certificates and whatever you would need in order to comply with the regulations for your market. Now, when working with a sourcing company or agent, could be, for example, us, could be others, please make sure that you get all the contacts so that you have the possibility to always get in contact with the supplier yourself, continue the negotiations on your own. You don't necessarily have to pay a percentage on the order volume and a percentage on the reorders, because to me, to be honest, a reorder doesn't really take that much time. And compared to percentages, in my opinion, it is a lot cheaper to work, for example, like we do on an hourly base. Just make sure, in my opinion, again, we have 70 or 80 products so far ourselves in our brands. I would not go for any percentages of orders. I want to see the results. I want to see this all clearly. I want to get all the contact data so I can take this over anytime I want myself. And no, the cost should not depend on the volume that you're ordering. The cost depends on the work that is being done. Bribes. Make sure that your agents are not getting any kickbacks or any bribes. As well, make sure you get enough offers. Ask your sourcing agency how many offers, how many quotes did they get in. If they say 3, 4, 5, it's like, well, that's okay. But do you really know the market? Target literally, I would say 30 potential producers in China, 60 potential producers outside of China, and see that you get as many proposals as possible. I personally think 10, 12, 15, 20, or maybe even 30 proposals is possible. This is what shows you what the real price is so that you won't overpay. Offer versus reality in production. short anecdote. There was a customer who got a sample. He looked at the samples, 3 of them. All right, they all look good. Take this one. And later he figured out, sorry, it wasn't a customer. It was before he worked with us. But later he found out, it's like, all right, mass production, all of a sudden it looked different. Also, this can happen. Why? Well, because there are some producers out there who maybe take the, what is it? That take the product, they order it from somebody else as a sample, show you the 3 ordered products, and then say, all right, number 2 is what you want, so let us try to build number 2 ourselves. And this may end up looking very different. So quality control, please, 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 always quality control. Yes, we can help with quality control pretty much in any country. Yes, we go into the local factories. Yes, we check that, or find somebody else, of course, also. Do the quality control, especially on the main orders, on the mass production. Ask them, where are the products produced really? Now, one of the things could, of course, be, me as a German, lots of companies there, oh, we're a German company, or we're producing in Germany. Ask them, please, like, are the products really produced in Germany? Or do you have a factory, for example, in China? Because many will say, yes, we're German, we're a German company, we're producing in Germany. What about this product? Are you really producing this one in Germany or in Mexico or in the US? Or is it being produced overseas? Because also a lot of German manufacturers understood, hey, if I outsource this to another company, to, for example, China, it becomes me cheaper even with the shipping. So ask, is it really produced where they say it is? Don't marry a stranger. So when you get to know a supplier, it's the same as your relationship. You wouldn't marry your husband or your wife from first date on. Be prepared. The same way as it may happen in a relationship means in your personal relationship, there will be fights, there will be arguments, you will have different opinions. And only then, when you figured out after a long time that even due to the fights, the arguments, the different opinions, maybe even money issues, if you can still go through this together, then you would probably marry the person. Be prepared that this may, of course, also happen with your supplier. So don't marry a stranger. Be prepared. It may take time. It will turn into a long-term relationship if both parties, of course, benefit from it. And the MOQs. Do not do 100% payment upfront. I think this is clearly to most of them, or to most of you out there by now. What's a common thing? 50-50 or 30-70. So, for example, make a 30% down payment, and the 70% final payment will only happen after the mass production quality control was successful and satisfying. Only then you send the money. Do not send it in any earlier. Because, if you paid for it, what incentive does the producer still have to improve his quality? Another step that I showed in here for later on is that you, for example, can do 20, 30, 50. You make a 20% down payment, or in some terms, depending on how large you go with some of the suppliers over the long run, you may not have any down payment, but assume you make a 20% upfront, 30% after production and quality control, and 50% after receiving the goods in the US, in your warehouse, in Germany, wherever you have it. I hope that with this, I could bring you, a bit of not a bit of effort, but a bit of value. Again, Sebastian Hertz, my name is. Zignify Global Product Sourcing is our global product sourcing company. And I hit it at 13 minutes and 40. Steven, I hope this is good enough. Best wishes from Germany.